Hello guys, so today I'll be teaching you how to find the three trigonometric functions: sine, cosine, and tangent. So to start off, what I'm going to tell you guys first is that this is not going to be easy. So if you're someone who wants to take the easy way out, please leave right now. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to draw a triangle. So, it's not perfect, but I tried. So let's say we have a 90-degree right triangle. So if we have a 30-degree angle here, let's say, the opposite of this angle would be called the opposite side in trigonometry. The opposite side of the 90-degree would be called the hypotenuse. And this side, which is right next to the 30-degree angle, will be called the adjacent side. So if we want to find, let's say, the sine of this 30-degree right triangle, what we need to do is we can use something called SOH CAH TOA. So what this means is that if the sine of theta will be equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. This would mean cosine of theta would be equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Now, to make this easier, so O would be the opposite. H would be the hypotenuse. And the A would be equal to the adjacent. So, now that we have this information, what's saying here is a sine is equal to the opposite of the hypotenuse. So what we have here. What's saying here is that the cosine is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And if you guys can, please pause the video and figure out what this means as well. So let's say you did have a moment to pause the video. So what TOA means is that tangent of theta would be equal to opposite over adjacent. So now, using this, we can go ahead and find the sine of this triangle. Let's see. So, for example, using SOH CAH TOA, now I'm just gonna quickly do some. I'm very solid with this, or maybe I'll keep it. So now with all this information right here, I want you guys to remember all of this. So we're gonna need this. I'm gonna draw another right triangle. This time I'll have this being 38 degrees. Or maybe, okay, let's do 30 degrees again. So, let's say in this right triangle that the opposite is 8. The hypotenuse is 13, and the adjacent is 5. So now I want you guys to take a moment to pause the video and try and find, using all of this information right here, using SOH CAH TOA as well, to find what the sine, cosine, and tangent are going to be. Now, let's say you did take a moment to pause the video and try and look for it. So now I'm going to show you guys how to actually find it. The sine of this right triangle of 30 degrees will be equal, remember, right here, SOH CAH TOA, will be the opposite, which is what? Remember, it's 8. Hypotenuse is 13, right? And then also, I'm just going to remember the adjacent side real quick. So adjacent is 5, opposite is 8, and hypotenuse is 13. So to find the sine, remember, SOH CAH TOA, we need to do opposite divided by the hypotenuse. So this is the opposite, and this is the hypotenuse. So the sine of the straight triangle of 30 degrees will be equal to 8 over 13. Now, let's do the same thing for the cosine and the tangent. Now, let's go back again at SOH CAH TOA. So, ca in SOH CAH TOA would mean cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So, the adjacent side is 5, the hypotenuse is 13. So, the cosine of this right triangle of 30 degrees will be 5 over 13. Now for the tangent. In TOA, in SOH CAH TOA, would be tangent equals to opposite over adjacent, right here. So the opposite would be 8, and the adjacent would be 5. So the tangent of 30 degrees of this right triangle would be equal to 8 over 5. So that's how we use SOH CAH TOA. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.